what goes into a baseball game, we'll see it right here as you see the full entire game last night as the Big Train get ready to take on another game, and this time it's against the Silver Spring-Takoma T-Bolts. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shirley Povich Field in the broadcast booth. A pleasant good evening, wherever you may be. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobeck here with you tonight, and the Big Train are set to take on the Silver Spring-Takoma T-Bolts. And guess what, Ben? The magic number is now down to 3 to clinch the CRCBL.
Yeah, they come in facing a team that is a whole 14 games back in the CRCBL standings. Big Train coming into tonight at 22-5 on the back of a pretty good stretch, 8-2 in their last 10. And looking for one more here before they close out a little homestand here with Alexandria coming back to town tomorrow night.
It rained for a little bit while it was sunny outside, but is holding off for now. It has ceased. And taking the mound tonight is Jake Eddington. He gets ready to make his first start, or not his first start, making his multiple appearance this year as he comes in once again. Tonight, take a look at his stats here. We'll take a look at his stats a little bit later, but he's 0-1, 6.5 ERA, 26 strikeouts, and 18 innings pitched, and he will face off against Dylan Oxier out of Maryland Eastern Shore to lead things off. Big Train ready to start here. 7:02 p.m. it is, ready to get this game underway. It's a very nice evening here at Povich Field as the rain just really cooled things off a little bit for just a second. Oxier digs into the batter's box, and he's ready to go. Eddington gets the sign. Sets and fires the opening pitch of the game. It's up and in, ball one, and we're underway. Dylan Oxier hit a long home run against the Big Train a couple of weeks ago. Tonight looking to do the same here, and we'll take a look at the Big Train defense in just a second after this pitch is delivered. The 1-0 offering from Eddington. That's inside, but called a strike by home plate umpire Joe Del Basso, and count is now tied at 1. So the Big Train defense left to right in the outfield, Matt Thomas, Riley Johnson, and Trevor Doyle. And then in the infield, third base, Kemp Alderman, shortstop, Keith Torres, second base, Austin Gauthier, Nip at first base, Grant Nip, and then the catcher is Dylan Hatfield. Here's the 1-1. And that's inside, and working inside has its troubles, and you see just why there as Eddington hits the leadoff batter, Dylan Oxier.
Yeah, not the start Eddington was looking for. Obviously running it inside, but base runner on and a chance to give that defense some early work here in the top of the first.
So, and he's got some good defense behind him. Gauthier and Torres up the middle. Torres, we know how good he is at defense, and Gauthier can hold his own out there at second. Not his natural position of short. Eddington quickly with a runner on to work with. Here's the first pitch, Stephen Rice, the 2-hole hitter. He swings and misses for strike one.
Yeah, nice pitch there from Eddington to come right back against Rice and get him quickly in a 0-1 hole here.
Leadoff hitter Dylan Oxier reached on a hit by pitch. Thank you, everyone, to tune in tonight at Big Train TV. This is one more home game after tonight before they head for a doubleheader in Alexandria. 3 consecutive against Alexandria, and they could clinch in one of those 2 games.
Yeah, like you mentioned, magic number down to 3, and with Alexandria a game ahead of Gaithersburg. Say that 3 times real fast. Those 2 matching up tonight. Could be some heavy standings implications in the games here this evening.
There goes Oxier, fouled way up in the air, hoping for a play. It's nipped near the sidewall, and it goes out of play. And Rice left to go back to first.
Tough luck for that fan right there down the first base line. Had a good position on it with the glove ready. Just took a mean hop off the back railing.
Sometimes that will happen here. Ground rules at Povich Field, not different than many stadiums. Now, one single ground rule is that if it hits the top of the scoreboard, it's in play, and we haven't seen anyone do that just yet. The high outfield wall is about the same height as that scoreboard. There's trees around the fence. Here's a pitch from Eddington. Bounces away from Hatfield, but a good job to get in front of it, and the count is now 2-2.
Yeah, Peyton Thomas came close on the other side of center field for South County last night. Hit a moonshot just to the right of the batter's eye.
Greeted starting pitcher of that game, Noah Carball, very rudely. And that was close. Oh, it gets away from Nip, and he's going to come back to first base. And
is that technically a dead ball if it bounces off the umpire? Or
because
I know when a ball is hit, it's in play off the umpire.
Yeah.
But I don't know on a play like that where it's about to go, behind the first baseman Grant Nip on the pickoff attempt into foul territory. And ends up being saved by the umpire.
Well, Eddington got really lucky there because that was nearly a balk. He almost, he shuffled a little bit on the mound, and he's lucky that none of the umpires caught that. So the 2-2 once again to Stephen Rice, second baseman. Pitch is up high, and the count runs full. Stephen Rice has had his moments against the Big Train this year. He's been in a couple of games against them, and their starting pitcher tonight just can't escape the Big Train. 3 of his 4 appearances this season now will have been against the Big Train. There goes Oxer, swinging a high fly ball in the infield. Eddington pointing at it, Hatfield coming back, drifting on him a bit. He gets over and he makes the catch for the first out. A very nice play there by Dylan Hatfield for the first out. So a P2 to start things off, the first out of the day for Jake Eddington. And rolling up to the dish is the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior, Connor Palmera.
Yeah, and he's a guy that, in addition to having a really loud bat this year for Silver Spring-Takoma, turned into a utility guy. We've seen him at second base. We've seen him behind the dish as a catcher. At third base tonight, guy can do it all.
Native of Hawaii. He's out of Kahului as he takes his swing and a miss there 0-1. As we'll take a look at the lineup for the opposing Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts. You see Oxier, Rice, Palmera, Maceda, Levin, Hauser, Neff, Brown, Cordell, and Springer all in that lineup. Connor Palmera's taking an 0-1 here from Jake Eddington. Comes set, delivers, Oxier still on first. Inside half of the plate, strike 2. And quickly 0-2 on Eddington, who struck out his fair share of batters this season, 26 to be exact, as we start play today. Really has settled down from that first bad start, and that's really why his stats are a bit inflated. That 1 7-run start will hang out like a sore thumb. Right down the middle, strike 3 called, and there goes Palmera waddling back to the dugout, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, and again, just like Noah Carbajal was able to do last night after allowing that leadoff 3-run home run, a nice response here early in this one by Jake Eddington so far in the top of the first.
So the UMBC hitter, Christian Maceda, wearing number 42. Interesting. Guess they don't retire numbers over there for the Seabolts. First offering from Eddington. Oxier goes this time, swinging a high pop-up once again. Hatfield lost it in the sun. Nip hoping for a play near the railing, and he does not make the play as it hits into the cage and falls back on the field. So the Big Train, after that leadoff base runner, able to get some retirees here. Hoping to do more of the same against Christian Maceda. Maceda has had his way with the Big Train this year.
He had his way early, but recently in the matchups, he's been struggling a little bit.
Here's the 0-1 from Eddington.
Unlucky.
Misses that inside half of the plate. It's 0-2, and 1-1. We'll take a quick look at the stats for Eddington. As you can see, 13 earned runs on the season, and 7 of those are in that first game. So really just inflating his stats in the highest regard. Maybe if he had 4, he would have a better ERA this season. A swing and a miss there from Maceda, and there's 2 strikes.
Yeah, it was a tough outing for Eddington, straight off the plane from Alabama, basically. Not exactly, but so to say. But was able to shake it off and come back and have 3 or 4 really nice starts since then. He's settled into a nice piece of this rotation for the Big Train pitching staff, and looking to get them off on a good start here.
Maceda has the 1-2 offering. Here is the pitch. Rips one to deep right center field. Going back for it is Doyle on the warning track. He makes the play to retire the side. So a leadoff base runner is no worse for the wear for Jake Eddington. He heads off the mound with a 0-0 score and no hits allowed to his name and 1 runner left on base. We'll see you for the bottom half of the first here on Big Train TV. Here's the cheeseburger in paradise, Riley Johnson leading things off as he did the other night in D.C. and led off with a bang. Solo home run, leadoff home run to start the game. And the starting pitcher for the T-Bolts is James Springer, who it's deja vu all over again for James Springer, who has now faced the Bethesda Big Train 3 times this season with that first pitch running inside on Johnson. And it's 1-0.
Yeah, Springer just trying to keep it between the navigational beacons tonight, as Mr. Buffett would like to say.
1-1.
Had a really good first start against the Big Train way back on June the 8th, but the second one, the most recent one here at Povich Field, not so much. 10 runs in the first inning. Silver Spring unable to recover from that. I believe it was a 17-2 game at the end of it. Not pretty for Springer, who's got some really good stuff, but sometimes a lack of control can set him off on the wrong foot.
Here's the 2-1. Johnson takes a strike, and a ball, 3-1. James Springer out of Fordham, Bethesda native, went to Ben's High School.
Proud Bethesda Chevy Chase alum.
3-1 count now to Riley Johnson, who's going to be looking to attack here, maybe a fastball middle in. 3-1. Fastball taken right down the middle. There's that middle in fastball, as I just said, and the count runs full.
Yeah, I think he's been trying to locate that on Johnson throughout most of this at-bat. Has missed a little inside on 2 of the 3 balls now, but able to find the location he was looking for there and put himself in good position here with a full count.
Full count to Johnson. He is rung up. Strike 3 called. Johnson was ready to walk down to first base, showing some disdain for that call, but he's retired for the first out. And that'll bring up the our performance of the game last night. Austin Gauthier. Take a look at his performance last night. Go-ahead solo home run in the 4th inning that stood as the winning run in the blowout and also the walk-off Mercy Rule victory.
The walk-off walk.
Batting clean .263 on the season as he steps in here against Springer with nobody on. Strikeout looking to lead things off for Riley Johnson, who didn't have the 3-2 count that he had in D.C. There's a ball low to Austin Gauthier, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, what stands out to me about Gauthier's performance this year, not the power he's shown throughout the entire year. It's not his dependability with runners in scoring position. You saw there 23 runs driven in already. It's the on-base percentage, up above .430. He has been so dependent in getting on base, and with him and Foster and now Johnson working at the top of this lineup, it's been such a dangerous table setting for the rest of the Big Train batting order throughout the year.
Oh, it absolutely has.
Looking to do so right here.
Austin Gauthier 2-1 now to him. Springer crackled a couple of fastballs in there. Let's see what he goes with on 2-1. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball. Catches the outside after the plate, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, it's a good start for James through the first 2 batters almost now. You know, he's been able to work both sides. Lost the control a little bit early on Johnson, but was able to come back and recover, paint the corner for that looking strikeout.
Springer's 2-2 to Gauthier. Hit high in the air to center field. That's going to stay in the ballpark. Settling under it is the center fielder Hauser. He'll make the catch for out number 2.
That's the sort of contact he's not going to be upset about giving up, and Gauthier just a little bit under that one. Will come back to the bat later in the night and look to do something a little bit different.
Matt Thomas up to the plate. William and Mary guy. Had the night off last night and comes into the game tonight looking to continue his recent stretch of hitting where he's just been really spraying the ball everywhere. Grand slam in D.C. What more could you ask for out of this guy? Your 3-hole hitter as he takes the ball inside. 1-0. Maybe have a generous call there.
7 RBIs in that first game of the doubleheader down in southeast D.C.
Desperately trying to catch up to Kemp Alderman.
Yeah.
1-0 to him. Outside, 2-0.
Good take there.
Home plate umpire Joe Del Basso. First time we've seen him behind home plate. We've seen him a few times this season in the infield. Of course, first base, Jerry Park, not the stadium, and Paul Porto at third base.
Porto we've seen behind the dish once or twice.
Jerry Park was as well. 2-0 is a ball, and it's 3-0. So now with Thomas and there being 2 outs, you think he has the green light on 3-0 here? We've seen it quite a bit this season.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting conundrum. You want him to get on base, something he's been very good at as well, but you also know the power that he has. But, you know, if it's not a pitch to hit, as it was there, why not just take your 4-pitch walk?
The walk of life for Matt Thomas as he gets to first base and brings up cleanup hitter Grant Knipp, first baseman tonight, who's played a very great first base. Freshly minted Campbell Camel has transferred there from Alabama.
Yeah, and he was hot with the bat last night.
He's been hot for a couple of games now. At
We're
first
getting
base
some.
position.
We're getting some roll calls from the lively crowd down the first base grandstand here.
Grant Nip, it's like James McCann. He moved to first base, and all of a sudden he hit like crazy.
Is James McCann hitting like crazy?
Well, no. So it was earlier this season when the Mets had their plethora of injuries, and McCann's a catcher. And they had him play at first base, which he had played for the first time since high school, and all of a sudden he went 4 for 4. And he wasn't hitting that well all season. It's Nip. Sends a mountain of a shot into right field foul territory. Hoping for it as a second baseman, and he makes the play. Stephen Rice ranging over to foul territory to make the catch. The Big Train get one runner on, similarly to the T-Bolts, but they leave him stranded. We'll see you for the top of the second when we come back. The Rocco Pepe fan club is on the first base side, but we have regret to inform them that he is not in the lineup tonight.